Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Deadly Spark and welcome back to Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2. Now today, we are doing medieval forces versus guns because that's always fun. This time, we've got new guns. Obviously, the stationary artillery. We haven't really done... And this is kind of like an old versus new, once again. Um, but the stationary artillery haven't been involved. And we did medieval, but we didn't do the Mongolian soldiers because they don't... I don't know, they didn't really fit in my head. I think this force is stronger because there is 10,000 catapults. But this has got stationary artillery which can fire a long way and catapults are weak as, so we will see how this stacks up. Let's begin. Yes, I've got them both charging. Not these aren't holding because I know the stationary artillery, it's basically like this is HQ. They're defending HQ and the turrets are firing from way back at the medieval soldiers. And it's already taken out significant chunks before the footmen get to do anything. Obviously, though, the footmen are the weakest. Let the bullets come in. Bang. Bang. Stationary artillery is some of my favourite units that they've added. It's exactly what was needed. And so the torrent of bullets begins. I don't particularly expect the footmen to do too much. They're more harassing and hopefully getting damage, and I expect the archers to really do the main damage. And if this is a complete wash, like if one side completely stomps the other side, which I think will be the million medieval forces, I'll probably just like up this and see what happens. The footmen are coming in and doing damage. They're quite a bit more effective than I was expecting them to be with all the forces here. The only thing I probably wouldn't increase are the tanks because they're going to be effective no matter what. Though I think the shotgunners are really going to be the ones to properly fall victim to this. But if the footmen are doing this much work already, well, when we get to the archers, which are going to just ruin everything for the soldiers, and then the heavy knights, which are all back here, which are all taking damage. They're definitely getting hit from missing bullets. Probably more so over here. And then there's the catapults. This is the catapults are definitely taking damage. You're probably going to lose a few catapults before you even get there. The shotgunners, it seems like it's definitely getting easier and easier for them as the back ranks take damage. Before the footmen were hitting, and actually they're still kind of hitting down this end, but in the middle, they're struggling. Are we at the assault troopers already here? No. Just the shotgunners that have to push up forward. The middle's definitely feeling comfortable. The edges not so much. But the edges, to be fair, are reinforced a bit more than the middle. So this is still somewhat even looking. Because the edges do have the tanks, and obviously stationary artillery is doing quite a bit of work. I reckon as soon as the archers come into play, though, there's definitely going to be a lot of trouble. Yeah, look at this, the archers. That's a lot of archers. Wow. It's pretty cool to watch, though. The tanks is really what the soldiers have to hope for, doing the most damage to these groups over here. And the stationary artillery. Look at that. Oh, that was a big hit by the stationary artillery right there. So that's another thing that could play a huge difference. I mean, this looks a bit dire for the soldiers. Maybe the tanks will play a huge part. Oh, actually, okay. So the heavy knights have arrived, and the landscape's looking a little bit different now. Let's see that middle section. Actually, over here, is still looking fairly strong, unless the Heavy Knights have only just gotten here. Oh, I think they've just gotten here. Look at the Heavy Knights. They've completely pushed into those ranks. Yep. The Heavy Knights are definitely another level, but I think because, I mean, this is working against them the way it is because there are less bullets that are hitting these behind, which could play a factor, or maybe it's already done. Maybe it's already too late. Okay, the catapults are now firing, and they're definitely looking strong in numbers. How are the archers looking? Archers are looking pretty torn up, actually. But these catapults, I mean, there is every chance that these berms of bodies that they've built up could actually really help them defensively against the catapults. Because they're more likely to overshoot. Judging by what I've seen, there are a lot of catapults that are missing. It's definitely been an interesting battle so far. And it's not the landslide in one way or another that I thought it was going to be. I'm still oh, actually, hang on a minute. That middle section that was holding out really well, as it turns out, footmen are just piss weak. Oh, are the tanks on this side gone too? Oh dear. Okay, the catapults on this side are definitely strong. That's definitely the strong point. I wasn't expecting the tanks to be the ones to go, but they're also gone on this side. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so maybe it was one-sided. Just as I was saying, I think it's not. Almost certainly was. I don't know what I'll increase. I'll probably increase the stationary artillery. I think just having that, the defensive fire bolstered, could be huge. Let's see. How are they doing against the catapults? That's what I want to know. Let's see if they hit. Oh, destroying them. Alright, yeah. If we increase the defensive fire, this could make a game of it. Maybe. There's still a lot left. Let's have a look how bad. Actually, not too bad. There was 1 million troops, you gotta remember. And there's like 250,000 left. Which is a lot. That's 3/4 of the numbers completely obliterated. But it's definitely on its last legs. I mean, with this many catapults, eventually they're gonna strike. And this is what we're left with. Actually, a lot of catapults died on the way. I mean, obviously not enough, but a lot did. Oh, this has been fun. But yeah, no, those defensive berms have definitely helped. That was built up by the bodies. Not much is actually hitting these soldiers. They're either hitting in front or behind. And that's it, I think. Unless this wasn't the last holdout. Oh, yeah, duh. The defensive artillery. Come on. Oh no. It's only this half left. Yup, here they come. All they need to do is hit a couple and then that's it. This is the last stand and it's not going to last much longer. And they're forming lines, it's like they want to be destroyed. Too bad the artillery is quite inaccurate. Hello. Oh, the fire rate really is slow on these. Oh! Oh, they won? Oh, it is gone. I was like, what? Well, let's see. Yeah, look at that. 250,000 left. That's a lot. But that's a lot less than it looks. I think that's because it's a lot of catapults that are left. And that makes it look bigger than it is. This is the bulk of the units. Let's see the average health. Yeah, they got most of their health still. Well, that was fun. Just for a bit of fun now, we're going to see if bolstering the artillery can make a close game out of this. We'll time lapse it for the most part, until it gets to like a critical point where it becomes obvious that things look cool. So, we'll just jump into that real quick and see how it goes. We're in, and we've got the defensive firepower increased by 10 times. There's 100 now in total. Actually, no, 50 times. We've increased it to 50 in each group instead of 10. So we've got 100 in total instead of 20. And we'll see how that goes. Enjoy the time lapse. To the interesting point where this has definitely been a much closer game. Tanks are still falling, but this is down to the wire in a sense. There's still hundreds of thousands, I think, units left here. But having the defensive power increase, this is definitely looking more favorable, I think, for the soldiers. But this side is still incredibly dominant with the medieval forces, so this is still yet to be decided. That side has almost entirely fallen for the medieval soldiers, such that it is just soldiers left, medieval soldiers. And they're doing pretty decent on this side. The soldiers anyway, like everywhere else the soldiers seem to have fallen. But over here, while the catapults have been crushed, probably due to the offset nature of the way the stationary artillery is, all the catapults on this side are wiped out. It's just these soldiers left, which are actually attacking from a decent enough angle that they're not getting vaporized as quickly. The other side, on the other hand, got completely and utterly mulched. But they're being peppered now by the stationary artillery, which could have been a bit overcooked, but I mean, with how many soldiers there were, I wanted to see, and it does appear as if the soldiers, like the World War II soldiers, are going to win this time around. But it's definitely been an enjoyable experience. If anybody wants to replicate this, just tweak the stationary artillery a little bit, and you'll probably get a perfect battle. Like maybe 40 in each group, so there's a total of 80. Just take away 20 guns from the back line. That could drastically change things up. Because these catapults are not in an optimal positioning, and therefore their medieval forces are going to lose their hitting power. That's the main reason why they're winning, is that they're losing their hitting power from their catapults. Which is a bit unfortunate for the medieval soldiers, but we had a definite good run. And this time, look, we've got... Well, there's actually only 7,000... 6,000 left. Yeah, they were running out of soldiers. Medieval soldiers, I should say, to be more specific. And this was slightly... They both have been slightly imbalanced. And I say slightly, it looks like in the end it's a landslide. Both occasions with how many units were left in comparison to how many they started with. But these were actually close games, both of them. And it's just the tiny tweaks, as I said, the tiny tweaks. You tweak that back line, and it's a different game again. But it's definitely been interesting to experiment with, and it's given me some insights into how to balance battles in the future by changing just one aspect rather than the whole team, because you change the whole team and then it's like a complete and utter destruction. You know, gone are the days where you just multiply the group you have by a certain amount. But here we are. Oh yeah, and a bunch more catapults died at the back due to them soldiers. Interesting. So that was really the difference, losing the catapults quicker. Well, I think we'll leave that there. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit like button. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more, feel free to subscribe and leave a comment down below on what matchups you want to see in the future. But for now, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!